Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair. Today is Wednesday, the 20th day of July 2022, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian or a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Remember, the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, and also want to remind you that the birthday shout-outs are proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randall Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center. And they remind you, don't take chances with your family's future. For those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. The radio voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paula Cal, waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided, courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. So I've provided you with all of those contact numbers for our control room, and Silver Fox will take your calls. We're going to ask you, unless you want to call to wish someone a happy birthday or maybe to congratulate them in other respects on some significant occurrence that would have happened and they're celebrating today as well, because what we want to do is to share these birthday shout-outs again with you, and to remind you that the birthday shout-outs are proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randall Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center, and they remind you, don't take chances with your family's future. So some of the birthdays that we know are being celebrated today are Martino Connolly, Norma Jackson Ebanks, and Diana Mackenzie. We also know that those were birthdays, past birthdays, and those celebrating a birthday today. No. Yeah, what the ones that I read were today, and I'll repeat those again. Yesterday we had Danielle Millwood, who celebrated a birthday. John Evans also celebrated a birthday yesterday. Brian Arnie Barnes also celebrated a birthday yesterday. And Vernicia Parchment celebrated a birthday yesterday as well. So those were the ones for yesterday, and those celebrating a birthday today. Again, Martina Connolly, Norma Jackson Ebanks, and Diane McKenzie. Happy birthday to all, and belated happy birthday for those who celebrated their birthdays yesterday. Also, some prominent persons who are celebrating birthday today as well, and let's share some of those with you also. We know that musician Carlos Santana, he turns 75 today. He has performed in both Dancing with the Stars and American Idol as well. Actor Frank Whaley, he turns 59. Other ones that we can share with you: actress Sandra Oh turns 51. Dean Winters turns 58. He's an actor also. He can currently be seen in a series of commercials for Allstate Insurance Company. Omar Epps turns 49 today as well. Judy Greer turns 47. Model Giselle Bundchen, the wife of Tom Brady, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback, she turns 42 today as well. So those are birthday shout-outs, and I believe, Paul, we still have one more that I have to check on that we just received on WhatsApp again. It was yesterday. Okay, coming to that. Just bear with me 1 second here, and we're going to come to that one for yesterday. Come on, open up. Won't open up. We'll get you open up soon, though. We will have you opened up in a few minutes. Okay, so happy birthday to Langley Powery, also celebrating a birthday. Velma Powery Hewitt celebrating a birthday today. Sasha Rankin also celebrating a birthday. Justin Miller, and also Jeremy Archer. So again, happy birthday greetings to Langley Powery, Miss Velma Powery Hewitt, Sasha Rankin, Justin Miller, and Jeremy Archer as well. And to remind you that the birthday shout-outs are proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randall Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center. They remind you, don't take chances with your family's future. And we want to continue to remind you, if you have birthday greetings that you want to send out Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on For the Record, the birthday shout-outs between 7:30 and 7:45. Send them in advance. Send them on the day of the birthday, or if you want to just call in and wish someone a happy birthday, you're welcome to do so as well. Meanwhile, I'm going to introduce my guest who's in the studio with me this morning as well. And as you know, whenever there is an opening, my favorite guest in the studio is always Dr. Steve McField. Doc, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning to you, Mr. For the Record, and good morning to all your listeners in For the Record land and in the Cayman diaspora, and all of those people who listen to you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on your great show. It's good to be back again. I've finished that long marathon case, some 6 or 7 weeks.
Oh, yes,
I've been away in court, and we got justice done. It's not winning. We got all 4 of the defendants that in that trial acquitted. And
congrats.
They say once a decision is made by a jury, it's justice done, whether it's guilty or not guilty, and it's not about winning; it's about justice. So we were happy about that, and I have several weeks again before the second part of the trial begins with some other 3 more defendants in that matter. So that will start sometimes around the middle of August.
Okay, so at least
but that will be short. That will be only between 5 to 6 or 7 or 10 days.
That has been set down for.
It's going to be a lesser. It's going to be. It's not such a vast case as the one we did before. A great case, a long case as the one that we just finished.
Excellent. I believe we have a caller, so let's take that caller before we go to our first commercial break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Well, you've been morning, or still morning to the doctor.
Morning. How are you?
I think I can get cut off because you've been on so long giving all those birthdays.
Oh, yes. We want people. We got to give them the shout outs,
Half them people I don't even know.
They probably know you, though.
Yeah. Well, see, I called in something similar before concerning Cayman Airways.
Okay.
I've been into not directly into the dialect, but listening concerning Cayman Airways. It seems like there's very, very low morale amongst the staff in Cayman Airways because of the treatment they're getting from the more senior people within that entity or department. And as you know, we prize that department as our pride and joy that is subsidized very heavily by us, the taxpayers. So what is happening there is that I remember I called in before about concerning a certain individual who was bringing in stuff and trying to evade custom duties. And he was quickly moved after it was such a, he got exposed.
Yeah, such an uproar, okay?
Yeah, such an uproar. He got moved to another area. I'm hearing that the reason that he was moved was because they could not do anything else, because he too was also doing it for other individuals within that department, right? But be that as it may. Now, I want to ask the minister or the chairman that they should have some small individual dialogue with staff members to see exactly what is causing this such a low morale within the company, because as you know, that's a very sensitive department. We don't want too much to be happening in that department because I'm on the plane all the time, So and another thing is that as far as I can hear, there's no retirement packages for the individuals, and now the positions are being created for people who should be leaving the department, but because of them, most of them think that they actually owns the airline.
And that they're indispensable.
Not for them. That's not for them. Okay? And if they got to go, they got to go. Just like how they're suspending other staff members for doing the right thing. They're instructing staff members to sign off on things, and when they refuse to sign it, they're suspending them.
Okay. Question. The staff at Cayman Airways, are they in any way collectively united in terms of their negotiations with Cayman Airways? Do they have any sort of staff representation?
I'm not sure. That I would have to ask, because I'm hearing that there's two sections in there: the ones that are senior and the ones that are less. So
yeah, well, usually management and the rank and file are usually separated. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the low morale is coming in within the staff. I'm also concerned, OC, about our young pilots. We're so happy when we see our young pilots, and then when you miss them, and they're off to Dubai or Qatar or flying for the JetBlue or somewhere.
Well, there's a huge competition in the airline industry now for pilots.
Yeah, but we don't want to train and give our, because I wouldn't say we train. They might have paid to go to a flying school, but they're not trained until they get on our Cayman Airways and rack up those hours. So we're giving them all these hours, getting them experience, and then they're going off to fly for another airline. We need to find out the reason why they want to leave, to see if we can accommodate what is it that they're exactly expecting. So for some more money, we already gain some millions and millions and millions of dollars. So let's give them some more money to keep our pilots happy and keep them here.
Yep.
We can't be training our young, and these is young guys,
Yeah, yes.
This is young guys. One just gone again. Good pilot. His dad was a great pilot. Now he gone too.
Wow.
We can't be doing that. We need to sit down with these pilots, with the staff, and find out what the problem is.
Yep.
We already given them millions of dollars. Let's give them some more.
Maybe they need to find. Maybe they need to have a staff union.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
To bargain,
collective bargaining.
Have collective bargaining with the company.
Yeah. Lord,
maybe that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
And sort this thing out, because what I'm hearing is that you're getting people who from next door that are working with other airlines are now coming here because they got a connection within the department. So we need to look into that. And I'm also hearing that we're importing people within the staff that speaks a different language, and when they're at work, they want to speak to their colleague, to their group, in the language that they come from. It's not good. That's not good.
Well, hopefully, someone from the ministry or the board of Cayman Airways, they're listening in. If they don't know about this already, they're hearing it now. Lord Graham, I want to thank you very much. We have to go to a commercial break. I believe we have another caller on hold as well. We will take that caller as soon as we return. So please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Along with emancipation, the 1830s brought forth two other key institutions to the Cayman Islands: churches and schools. The first clergyman in the Cayman Islands was Reverend Thomas Sharp, who arrived in December 1831, coincidentally the same month as the new legislature convened. The arrival of Reverend Sharp was in response to the desire by Caymanians for a resident minister, and was part of the expansion of the Church of England following the appointment of Jamaica's first bishop, Christopher Lipscomb, in 1824. Reverend Sharp held his first service on Christmas Day, 1831. Although he made good progress, relations were not always great, and Bishop Lipscomb would later learn that the assembly had not been forthcoming towards the stipend to which they had previously promised. Reverend Sharp would resign in 1834 to take up a new position at a church in Westmoreland, Jamaica, and was replaced by Reverend David Wilson in 1836.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community, a traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamt Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamt Motors, Walkers Road.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Hi, I'm life insurance agent Michael Webster.
And I am Randy Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center.
Proud sponsors of the birthday shoutouts on For the Record.
Whether you're another year older or just a year wiser,
making sure your family is protected is a pretty wise choice. I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
And I am Randy Lawson at 322-2145. Give us a call today to find out how you can better secure your family's future.
Cayman Insurance Center, protecting you and your family so you can take back your future.
Superior Auto is pleased to announce the grand reopening of the new Superior Auto Apprenticeship Center on Seymour Drive. New opportunities, new beginnings, a new home for Caymanian youth seeking career training and certification in high-demand trades such as automotive repair, AC, refrigeration, and so much more. Put the value in your pocket. Fun fact, the average hourly rate for a tradesman can be 4.5 times the minimum wage. The Superior Auto Apprenticeship Center is a not-for-profit program. Accepting applications from June 20th to July 20th. Contact 949-9570 or 525-9571 to apply today. The Superior Auto Apprenticeship Center, successfully building the next generation of hardworking Caymanians since 2010.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have a caller on hold for quite a while, so let's go to that caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Thanks for being so patient.
Good morning, OC and Dr. Steve.
Good morning. Good morning, Billy.
Samamba.
Yes, please. I just want to add something to a call. Miss Alice May called you, I think, about 2 weeks ago to talk about the beach access case, yes, and the frustrations that they have been going through regarding that. I have shared some of those frustrations, although I was involved in the matter much later. But I thought I might add a bit of a legal dimension to what she said and to some degree to validate that. You see, the first beach access case, which is the one where the West Bay Road was closed, it was really wrong in law, in my view. In fact, I wrote an article in a Commonwealth journal about it, criticizing the decision of the court. For those who are not used to it, writing articles to criticize a court after the case is finished is very usual. You know, university professors do it all the time. You should just not do that when the case is going on. You see, the court there said this. Okay, the problem there was time. The decision to close West Bay Road was made by Cabinet, but it wasn't gazetted for some time. So then later on it was gazetted. Then when the four ladies actually, Miss Alice May Cole, as Miss Smith, Betty Ebanks, as well as Miss Annie Moulton, when they brought the case, they said, look, you have to count the period of time from the date when the decision was gazetted. Okay? Because all actions, as you know, must be brought within a certain period of time. So they said, well, you have to count from the date when the decision was gazetted. Now, if the court had counted from the date when the decision was gazetted, they were not going to be out of time. But the government argued that you should count from the date when the decision of Cabinet was made. And the court agreed with the government that the period started to count even before the decision was made public. You know, I mean, how can that be right? So first of all, the Court of Appeal was wrong. And then secondly, what the lawyer argued in the alternative, he said, well, look, okay, if you say they are out of time, then you have to grant them an extension of time. Why? Because they have a good reason why they brought it at the time they did, because they were waiting for the gazette of the decision. How could they bring a decision based on a newspaper report? You know, when newspaper reports can be wrong, and sometimes if they go to court, they'll be charged costs because they'll say, well, how come you were bringing a case before the decision is official?
Right.
So that was totally wrong in law, and I have said publicly that's why it's very, very important that in court, you know, there should be accountability of judges. But secondly, the second beach access case, this is the one which is a lot of people, Mr. Billy Adam and other people, worked to put together about 500 affidavits to prove 200 rights of way. They tried to have those rights of way registered, and the registrar refused. At that time now, I was acting for them, and the appeal was made to say, look, you have refused to register them. We think that you've got the power to register them, but according to the registered land law, it says once you refuse and there is an appeal, then you are obligated as a registrar to send a report to the Grand Court so that a legal decision can be made. And the Attorney General advised that there was no obligation to do that. And yes, Section 47 of the Registered Land Law is very clear. It says once an appeal is lodged, then the registrar shall prepare a report and to send it to the Grand Court. And they have refused to do that. And then, after that, then they were forced to bring in a separate action. And then they were denied legal aid, so we had to appeal to a judge to show that this is really in the public interest. Then the judge said, okay, fine, they should give you legal aid, but you should pay from your own pockets like part of the expense. I think that is wrong. I think the government should intervene in this matter and legislate on it. I think the problem up to now, there's no government, and I want to repeat this in closing. There's no government, whether it is PPM or Democratic Party, Cayman Democratic Party, you name it, who have been interested in this because they are in the pocket of the developers. The PACT government haven't yet had enough time to deal with it. A letter has been written to them to ask to meet with them on the issue, and I hope that they will be able to deal with the matter. That is my little rant for this morning. Thanks very much.
Mr. Billy, it's the decision is, it seems to be all political, not legal, and it's the same as the decision not to implement the Constitution, Section 119, to establish district councils. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same mental. It's the same political inability to do what is right and to follow the law. And it's very interesting. That law is from 1882. The prescriptive law that gives the people the right, and I could not understand why a court would say that it's not in public interest, because it's a public right of way. It's not right of way between two landowners who are fighting for easements from one property to the other. It's a public right of way for the general public, and if it's for the general public, how can a court come to say that it's not that is not a public matter? And that is one of the reasons why the education system is here, because they do not want anyone like you or me or any of those people who have that legal education that can point to the people, because we, according to us, we're detrimental to their interest.
Billy, I want to thank you very much for that. Top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Radio Cayman time check is now 8 a.m. This time check is brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
So it's your turn to cook tonight. What are we having?
Well, we have chicken thighs, pork chop, sirloin steak, ground chicken, or beef stir fry.
Wow, so many options.
Yeah, I got them from the Foster's Pick 5 selection. You can choose any 5 specially marked packs for $19.99. The meat is always fresh and never previously frozen. It's the perfect way to stock up for the week.
So all of this only costs $19.99?
It sure did.
Pick 5 is available in the meat department at all Foster's supermarket locations. Foster's, better value because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. Lawmakers will soon debate amendments to the Mental Health Bill and the Companion Commission Amendment Bill. The revisions are designed to clarify the procedure relating to emergency detention orders, provide for orders for protective custody, and provide for restrictions on access to electronic networks by patients. Under Clause 3, the proposed new subsections provide for orders for protective custody. So if a medical officer is of the opinion that a person may be suffering from a mental impairment or serious mental illness, they can make an order for protective custody, directing a constable to take that person into custody and with all reasonable dispatch, but no later than 12 hours after the person is taken into custody, bring them before a medical doctor employed by government to examine them. Another new subsection clarifies the procedure related to detention orders. This directs the detention of a person for up to 72 hours in a hospital or another safe place to get care for that person. Further, the proposed new subsections clarify that where no emergency detention order is made, the person must be released. As for accessing the internet, while the proposed new Section 16 retains the current provisions on postal restrictions, it also takes into consideration technological advancements and the use of electronic networks. So if, in the opinion of a responsible medical officer, access to any electronic network directly or indirectly by the patient may have an adverse effect on them, that access can be denied. Under the Act, if it is denied, the nearest relative within 7 days should be informed of the decision and given an opportunity to appeal to the Mental Health Commission. You can find both bills online at legislation.gov.ky. There is no date set for the next meeting of Parliament. This Thursday and Friday, the Cayman Islands Fire Service is hosting a recruitment drive in Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac. Deputy Chief Fire Officer Roy Charlton tells CIG-TV they're looking for men and women who are ready to make firefighting a career, not just a short-term job.
We're going through a transitional phase, new leadership, everything else that comes with that, new promotions, everything.
And right now we're encouraging. There's a lot of young people in our community that we know have the skill set, have the mental capabilities, the focus, and everything else to become really good firefighters.
They're looking for Caymanians, permanent residents, and those with RERC who are computer literate and hopefully active in the community. The drives are Thursday at the Aston Ready Center and on Friday here in Grand Cayman at Spot Stock. Both events take place from 3 to 7 p.m. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. Sri Lanka's new president, Ranil Wickremesinghe, has appealed for unity after months of protests over the country's deep economic crisis. Mr. Wickremesinghe comfortably defeated his nearest rival in a parliamentary vote. But many Sri Lankans regard him as tainted by his close association with his disgraced predecessor, Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The European Commission has recommended that member states cut their gas consumption by 15% in the coming months, in case Russia further reduces gas supplies. It's warned it could enforce that target if Russia were to completely cut off supplies. The EU accuses Russia of using energy as a weapon, something Moscow denies. The Russian foreign minister has said the geographical objectives of Moscow's operation in Ukraine are no longer limited to the eastern Donbass region, but include Kherson and Zaporizhia in the south. Sergei Lavrov said Russia's objectives would expand still further as the West continued to supply Ukraine with more long-range weapons. Mario Draghi has told the Italian Senate that he's prepared to stay on as Prime Minister, but only if the partners in his troubled coalition give him their full backing. Mr. Draghi tendered his resignation last week after a coalition partner wavered in its support, but President Sergio Mattarella rejected his offer. The Thai government has admitted to spying on some of its own citizens by installing surveillance software on their mobile phones. The Digital Economy Minister told Parliament he was aware that the authorities had done so in limited cases involving drugs or national security. India and Namibia have signed a deal that will see cheetahs from the southern African country relocated to India, 70 years after India's former population was declared extinct. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com. Did you know that ValueMed Pharmacy has a free online prescription service? Managing your health and medical requirements has never been easier with ValueMed. Simply visit value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com and click the Refill Prescriptions tab on our website. Fill in the information for new prescriptions or refills and choose your preferred pickup location. ValueMed on Walkers Road or Town. Then bring in your original prescription from your doctor when picking up. There's no need to stand in line and wait for your prescription. Save time and pick up prescriptions at your convenience by visiting value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Refilling and transferring your prescriptions have never been this easy. Simply go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and follow the easy directions from your desktop, mobile device, or tablet. All you need to do is pop into Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor to collect your prescription. They're open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 10 till 6 on Sundays and public holidays. No waiting in line, no wasting your lunch hour, no stress. Just easy online prescription refills and transfers from the pharmacy that has been caring about your health for 25 years. Call 947-8900 to speak to a pharmacist or go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and make life easy.
Early Bird gets the cheap tickets. Join us at Parker's Raceway July 30th and 31st with tickets starting as little as $10. Race on over to parkersraceway.com and get your Early Bird tickets before they sell out. Follow us on social media for more event details at Parker's Raceway. A big thanks to our sponsors, Monster, Valvoline, AI Rentals, Event Pro, VP Racing Fuels, Parker's, and NGK Spark Plugs. Get your tickets at parkersraceway.com.
The following is a special announcement from the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association. The Grand Cayman 6A member backpack distribution takes place July 18th through 29th at the 6A office above No. 1 Shoe Shop on Hospital Road Plaza. Backpacks are limited and on first-come, first-served basis. Members should bring identification to speed up the collection process. If you are collecting bags on behalf of another member, please bring a written signed note from that member with a copy of their ID. The Grand Cayman 6A member backpack distribution, July 18th through the 29th. The Cayman Brac backpack distribution will take place on Thursday, August 4th.
Esports in the Cayman Islands just got a major upgrade. That's right, NetGeeks Media is proud to present Gamers Bay 6. This is July 30th to 31st, 2022.
Compete head-to-head for over $10,000 on the PlayStation 5 in titles such as Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, and FIFA 2022, utilizing our new gaming monitors.
Additional competitive titles include Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Switch, as well as Naruto Storm 4 for the PS4.
Oh, and did we mention keyboard and mouse can now also be used?
Back and better than ever. It's all going down July 30th to 31st, 2022 at the John Gray Gymnasium.
Meet international YouTube influencers Windy Girk and Beck Brojack. Let the world see the power of Cayman's competitors.
Visit GamersBayCayman.com to purchase spectator tickets, view schedules and times, purchase competitors' passes, as well as view the rules of each tournament.
Proudly sponsored by
Pepsi, Enterprise Cayman, Department of Tourism, C3 Pure Fiber, Radio Cayman, K Gadgets, Youth Services Unit, Office Supply, Cellular Cayman, Dolphin Discovery, The Matrix, and the Department of Education.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning, everyone. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I see we have just about everyone, and of course Tom drops off, as per usual. Let's just wait a minute here. He always comes right back, and we're almost ready, and... oh, whoever's dog that is, please go on mute. Why won't it let me share my screen? Okay, looks like we're ready to start.
We're like a video conference with no technical issues. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Morning, Cayman. Let's take a look at your weather. Compliments of our friends at CG Britcay. Cloudiness and showers in and around the Cayman area associated with a tropical wave moving west at 10 knots is expected to move west of our area this evening. So they're calling for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 40% chance of showers and some thunder. Showers may become locally heavy at times. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s with a heat index of 105. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Then later, partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be east at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Low tide is coming up at 10:01. It's going to be high at 5:15 and low at 11:24 this evening. For tomorrow, high tide will be at 4:34 a.m., low at 11:10 a.m., and high at 6:22 p.m. Sunset is at 7:04. Sunrise for Thursday morning is at 5:59. And the outlook is for similar weather through Friday morning. And that, my friends, is your latest weather.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Head east on Cove Road. Sharp left on Church Street. Sharper left. No, your other left. Did I say left? Nope, you missed it. Okay, I'm lost.
With money-saving bundling options for home and motor, we're like a GPS that doesn't steer you wrong. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Let's stop and ask for directions.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by On Course Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, keep it positive. The human brain does not work very well in the negative. If told not to think about pink elephants, most people's brains go straight to a pink elephant. When setting goals, focus on what you're going to do rather than what you are not going to do. For example, instead of saying to yourself not to go on Facebook, say to yourself that you will study more.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
All right, morning, my friends. Let's take a look at the traffic situation in Georgetown. Looking at Eastern Avenue. Quite fair to find with light traffic. That's similar on Shedden Road as well. Edward Street feeding onto 4th Street. Most streets in Georgetown fair to find, but of course the main roads feeding into the Georgetown area. Let's check out West Bay Road, looking out on the Ritz-Carlton. A bit of traffic heading into the Georgetown area. Of course, expect some traffic along North Church Street, and you feed into Seafarers Way. Traffic coming through South Church Street. It's a little bit backed up as well, with traffic coming through South Sound. Those continuing on Walker's Road will run into some traffic midway. And of course, coming out of the east-west arterial or the eastern districts and getting to that point on the Linford-Pearson Highway, you'll expect some traffic back up there, similar on Crew Road. But the traffic is moving slowly but steadily. Of course, Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, minimal traffic at this time. Of course, all the traffic clears up until we got another report for you at 12:15. Let you know how it is when you're heading out trying to grab some lunch. Of course, right now you have your choice of getting some nice breakfast at a Subway nearest you.
Subway makes it easy for you to stay on top of your health and wellness goals with our Fresh Fit menu options. Choose from 5 Fresh Fit Subway sandwiches with only 450 calories or less per 6-inch sub. Turkey breast, veggie, oven roasted chicken, Black Forest ham, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or make your 6-inch Fresh Fit sub into a salad or wrap prepared with fresh vegetables. For a full menu and nutritional information, visit subway.ky. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really?
Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating?
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory breaded, frozen and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, Dr. Steve McField, and we're going to have a healthy discussion with Doc and with our audience as well. Before I do that, I just want to share with you, because I keep talking about COVID-19 and last Wednesday I said that we were on autopilot as far as navigating, the COVID-19 situation, because we're not hearing too much, from the public officials in relation to this. So on yesterday, the 19th, we had an update for COVID-19, and you probably have heard this on Radio Cayman's news already, but I will share it with you again. And it indicated that the figures for the 19th of July, positive cases reported to the public health during this period were as follows: for Sunday, 12, and for Monday, 7 to 9. They also indicated that 10 patients were hospitalized with COVID-19 on the 19th of July, and of those, one was unvaccinated. Only one unvaccinated. Wow. 7-day rolling average for the 19th of July was 56 cases on the 7-day rolling average. There was one new case in the Sister Islands as well. So those were the COVID-19 report that we received yesterday, the 19th of July. So this morning we're going to talk about several things. Doc, you have the magazine in front of you, and I just want to whet our listeners and viewers' appetites in terms of what we're going to discuss. There is an article in there. We always talk about the fire brigade and, those who were instrumental in starting the fire brigade, but we know that formal legislation bringing the fire brigade into existence only came about in 1979. There's also an article in there we want to talk about. We talk about Cayman and when we started to see the boom in the Cayman Islands. We talk about the fact that at one point in time, we were no longer grant aided by the United Kingdom. That meant they didn't give us grants to build schools, no grants to build a runway. As a matter of fact, when the runway was being done in the
51, 52.
Well, yeah, but in the 60s, we I think it was 300 and something thousand pounds. We got a loan for a certain amount, and then they gave us a certain amount. I'll find that in the trade room. But that basically around about 1975 really was when our grant aid stopped from the UK, which means that we have been paying our way from then.
Yes.
We have been paying our own way, not only paying our own way, paying the salaries of the governors that they send to us to rule over us. And yes,
and his domestic house.
Exactly.
Paying for his domestic servants and also paying for his entertainment as well.
And then there's an article in there that talks about gratuities, and gratuities still remain. Well, I think we don't hear as much about it these days because it may have been resolved, but there were always issues with management in the hospitality industry getting gratuities.
I don't think gratuity has been resolved.
You don't think so? You don't hear a whole lot about it.
It's because It's because people have spoken about it so much now that they're getting exhausted. They have become exhausted. But gratuitous, as I understand it, I'm subject to be corrected, and anyone can call in and correct me. But some institutions are still giving gratuity as part of their salary, and gratuity is not a part of the salary. Right. Gratuity is a gift from the customer who comes into the organization who likes the customer, who likes the service, and then gives them money. But what they have done, they have made it an obligation for you to pay the 15% gratuity. I went to a restaurant one time.
I remember you telling us that. Yes, yeah.
And I got bad service, and I wouldn't pay it. And I marked it off the bill, and I gave them what the bill was without the gratuities, and they told me not to come back. And I said, I'm happy not to come back to such a place.
Yes. So let's start to share some of those articles. Let's start with the fire brigade, and I can say now also that we will have representatives of the Cayman Islands Fire Service in the studio with us on Friday. I will have them in talking about their new recruitment drive as well. So I just want to give them that early plug on For the Record as well. Doc, go right ahead.
So the bill came before the court, before the legislature in 1979, and people might say, well, why did it come in 1979? Well, because when the airport became an international airport and they was opened in 1950-51, the fire brigade there was only for the airport. It was not a domestic fire brigade. It was not. In other words, it didn't have the authority to go to people's houses or the business outside of the airport. And so there was necessary to bring a bill to provide those services for the general public. And this is what the article says. Though there were some criticism in detail, members gave full support to the fire brigade bill introduced by Captain Charles Cornell to authorize the island's first domestic fire service. The new law provides for the composition, duties, and powers of the fire brigade, allows for the recruitment of volunteers, firemen, and authorizes the use of the brigade for tasks other than firefighting. Captain Charles Cornell said firefighting equipment necessary for the establishment of the service had already been ordered, and preference would be given at first to more densely populated areas of Georgetown and West Bay, but it was hoped eventually to expand the protection to all districts. Now, this is very funny. It was George Smith, who was then a member of the legislature from Georgetown, supported the bill, but raised queries on 2 points. He felt fire officers should not have the right to enter private property without proper notice. Ooh. What a dumb idea that was.
Yeah, if you got to wait, to get permission to go in if there's a fire there.
But you might not get permission because the people inside the fire were fighting in the fire being burnt out.
Yes.
In the second point, he said, concerning exemption from the liability for the members, he won an amendment to ensure this is effective at all times when the brigade is answering a fire call. Haig-Bodden paid tribute to the airport fire chief Kirkland Nixon, who would also take charge of the new brigade. The bill was obviously a good one, as it had not brought a throng of nasty letters. He hoped the provisions for volunteers, firemen, would not be destroyed by the press, as in the case of that for special constables, the subject of a very nasty editorial in the Northwester. Truman Bodden, who noted that the equipment on order would cost US $140,000, said the project was supposed to be a joint one between the government and the insurance companies, who should benefit greatly. He was going to see they played their part in it, he assured the House. Now, it's very funny. Now, in 1979, the equipment for the fire service was $140,000 US. Today, that couldn't even buy half of a fire truck.
Yes.
Today,
yes.
Because the equipment is all $300,000 and $400,000 now for a fire truck. So, it's very interesting. All of these institutions that we have here, most of them were established around that time in our development.
Yeah, because we were starting to
develop a modern community.
Mm-hmm.
We started. But one article that pricked my conscience and that operated on my mind as I came in and you handed me the magazine.
Okay, I'm going to get you to find that and read that as soon. Let's take the commercial break, and when we return, have you share that with our audience. Folks, please stay tuned. For the Record with Dr. Steve McField will continue after this short commercial break.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
It's not time for Christmas bells yet, but it is time to start thinking about your holiday parties and decor. AI Rentals can help. From a family get-together to your office's holiday party, we can make it the happiest time of year for everyone and make it stress-free for you. We do it all. AI Rentals can help you plan, coordinate, and execute your small or large events to fit within your budget. Get in touch today by emailing info@ai-rentals.com or call us on 946-4935 for more information. Think events. Think AI Rentals.
Ransomware, DDoS, malware, phishing. If you don't know what those mean, you're not alone. But if you aren't protected against those cybersecurity attacks, then your business is at risk. Don't leave your data or your business vulnerable. Get Digicel Business Protect. Simpler, smarter cybersecurity. Visit our website, www.digicelbusiness.com, to request a callback or call us now on 623-2499.
From food to construction materials to office supplies, chances are a truck brought it to you. Superior Auto honors the value that the trucking community brings to these islands. Reliable, quality-trained technicians who value your time and aim to get your trucks back in service so you can be continued to be of service to your customers. Specializing in complete Isuzu, Hino, and other models of delivery box trucks and its repairs, including computer diagnostics, mechanical, and body repair. Superior Auto, 525-9571 or 949-9570. Keep on trucking with Superior Auto.
Hello, Cayman. Please join me, contestant number 3, Lisa Evans, and our lovely 7 contestants at this year's Miss Cayman Islands Universe pageant on Saturday, August 6th at the Westin Hotel. Doors open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 7. Tickets available at Funky Monkey and Funky Tangs. Huge thanks to our corporate sponsors, Ministry of Tourism, Radio Cayman, Compass Media, and Cayman Airways.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. Before we share that other article, Doc, one of our listeners has written and said in relation to Billy's comments about the court case, speaking of beach access, says said it is simply the court took the easy way out, yet the case had merit. According to the judgment, the case had merit.
Yes.
But they took the easy way out by saying, out of time. So I just wanted to note that.
Well, where was the inherent jurisdiction of the court? Where was the inherent jurisdiction of the court? The court has an inherent jurisdiction, and one of the powers in inherent jurisdiction is to expand the time in which you should make applications. So that's what I have to say about that.
Okay.
So this was in 1979. This was a time when there was a lot of controversy and disunity in the country.
Yes.
Disunity in the country. And I would just like to read this and wish that some of the listeners would at least voice their opinion as whether they think is what Ms. Anna Borden said is relevant for today, or are any similarities of what might be happening today.
Yeah, and I don't think that what's happening today, that's a drop in the bucket to what happened. The only difference is that you didn't have social media.
Yes, right.
Things could spread around. You had to either wait for the printed word. Even the government radio station, to a certain extent,
didn't
not as liberal as it is now in terms of what is broadcast and the talk shows and everything else.
So yes, so the heading of this article, the title of this article is "Those in Power Should Not Trample People." By Miss Annie, by Miss Annie. And she says, if we are to go forward, we must live in unity. We must live and act and let live, said Miss Annie Holder Borden, Legislative Assembly member for Georgetown, at a public meeting she held on the law court steps on the 24th of May. Because we may have a little power, we should not try to trample on other people, she said, and she went on to remark, the big fish seem to want to cut up the little fish, and as long as I am a legislator, I will not stand for it. Miss Borden deplored the absence of the Miss Una Watler, the abuse of Miss Una Watler in the March sitting of the Assembly, merely because she had dared to disagree with the government's new middle school policy, and she defended the Northwester and publisher Desmond Seals against official attacks upon him. It was wrong, she said, that government should propose to get into television. They had not been among the original applications for the franchise, and the firms who did so had spent many thousands of dollars in preparing their bids. Our government cannot afford to get into so many projects, and if we have people willing to assist, let us not be greedy. Let us not try to trample people who can help us. The government has not acted fair in taking the franchise away from these people who were prepared to provide it. She felt the main aim of the government in their decision was to hurt Desmond Seals, though he was not the only one involved in television, really. She respected him as a man because he had founded the Northwester, a beautiful magazine that was a credit to the Cayman Islands. This is meant to be a slap in the face, and I don't think this is right. In reply to one questioner, Miss Anna Holder Borden said she was not happy about some decisions of the planning authority. She saw no reason why it should be given permission to build a building in the road. It depends on who is who to get what is what. It appears to me, she lamented.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what that building in the road was. Which building that was?
To another voicing a complaint, she said, "If you feel things are going wrong, it is the duty of each one of you to speak up. That's what I have against being in the Legislative Assembly. No one wants to give you any support. They'll come to my office and say, Miss Annie, you keep up the good work, but they'll never put it in writing and in black and white and on paper. And I am right, or if I am right or wrong. I feel it is the duty of every citizen, if they have a complaint, to take it to the glass house, the police station, or wherever you can get an answer. And if you feel that there are injustice being done, in the planning authority or the protection board, you should have your voice heard. Suggesting constituents should call meetings to tell their representatives what they were concerned about. Miss Annie said, "It is no use just complaining in your heart. Speak up and let us correct what is wrong." That was what Miss Annie was said in 1979, and I wonder if that is relevant today. If this article, what Miss Annie said, Anna Halderbarton said then, is relevant today. If it has any meaning today.
Well, one thing that she said that is still obtains today, and that is they'll tell you keep up the good work, keep hammering them home.
Yes,
but.
Yes.
No one gets behind you. They do it in private,
yes,
but they don't support you, publicly. Caymanians,
yes,
we're still guilty of that.
And if you have a public meeting, they will sit in the cars and not show their faces in the public meeting because they don't want people to see them who might think that they might be supporting you.
Yes.
So, we
have a caller, Doc. Okay. So we're going to let's grab the caller before we go to our next break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. Good morning, Dr. Steele.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just had to call after I heard your message there from Miss Anne. I can guarantee you that is still the case today with the planning department. They give them the power to abuse people. I spoke to it, if O.C. can remember, on Monday.
Yes.
They're doing it. And I mean, it's blatantly abuse what they're going on with at the planning department. And if you call in, like I said on Monday, if you call in there and speak to one person, you get 3 different answers. Because if you call in this morning, you get one answer. You call in this afternoon, you get another one. And if you call in by the following day, you get another one from the same person. If you can get hold to them. There's one person in there that you can call 24/7 and you get an answer, and that is Alan Moore. Anytime you call and he's available, he's gonna answer his phone. He's about the only one. And there's another young lady there, Miss Elsie. She answers no matter what as well. But any other one, I mean, you can call till you blue in the face. You don't get an answer. And trust me, when I tell you they're abusing their powers, I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Anyway.
So you have any idea, sir, about what Ms. Sanders said about that she saw no reason why the planning should give permission to build a building in the road? That was back in 1979.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Do you have an idea where that what that building might have been or where it might have been?
No, I haven't really, looked at it, but I will, and I will definitely find out where it was.
Was CIBC built then, right opposite the courts building?
I don't know. If CIBC was built then.
I think
CIBC was already built then.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. I think that was.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Caller, thank you very much for that. Paul, we can take the other caller before we go to the break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi. Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, we're well. Getting a little splash of rain today on the bluff.
Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky over there.
Yeah, it's been really hot. Anyways, this now in relation to Mr. McField.
That's okay.
But of course, she is my hero or heroine. I adore her. I loved her to pieces. As a young girl, I spent most of my summer working at one of the stores downtown, and every morning my dad dropped me very early, and I spent at least an hour out there on the sidewalk with her talking about politics. So she educated me from I was in ponytails. Anyways, I just wanted to say that there's a certain situation taking place up here in the BRAC. I am not going to name anything, but I just want to highlight the actual scope of it. A child has been abused in one of our schools up here, and the principal of that particular school is not taking the situation seriously enough. The bully that's abusing this other child is not even a Caymanian child. They're an imported child with their family into this country, and they are allowed, because they're very athletically inclined and stuff. The principal of that school doesn't want to address the bullying that is taking place, and apparently many young ladies or girls in that school is actually the victim of this young man's abuse as well, as being a bully to them. And it was a particular situation where a child had a birthday, and they have something going on up here in the schools now where you get birthday licks. If you see the arms of this child that has been hit by him, calling it birthday licks, and I mean the bruising, and the principal of the school is not stepping up to the plate and dealing with it. And we know that if you go out there, like parents are very afraid, and brackers have a tendency to be that way, but set in their ways and don't want to cause ruckus and come out and say what's going on. Then, you get victimized, and your child is also victimized as well. And we've seen it, and we have evidence of that. There has to be a situation here where when that stuff takes place, apparently this particular bully has done it so many times and has so much reports against him of bullying girls and boys in the school, and the school refuses to remove him from the school or suspend him or whatever it is, because he's very athletic and making the school look good in that regard.
So no formal complaints have been lodged?
To the police? What about the police?
Oh yeah, they have been lodged with the police up here, and they've done absolutely nothing about it.
So then why doesn't the family of the child who's been bullied then take out of civil action against that person?
I have recommended they do that, but as they've said, the victimization of their child in that school by that principal will take place until they graduate. So they don't want to go that route, but they will after the fact. But my point is, if the police has been given a report has been filed, the school's aware of it, why is it that the Department of Educational Services or the ministry isn't stepping in now and saying, hey, what's going on here? This is a repetitive activity this other guy is doing, this bully is doing, to not just one kid in the school, to numerous, and a lot of girls he's been bullying. He's very aggressive to girls, and they're not addressing it. They need to remove him now from the environment.
Well, if you're not getting any satisfaction from the companies you're making to those institutions, then I suggest, and if you're not prepared to take a private action, which you have a right to do, then I don't understand. I don't know how you're going to change the situation.
Well, the problem is a report has been made to the school. The school is aware of the multiple bullying actions this young man has done to others, and the police is aware of it, and they're still not addressing it. And that's the concern. Why should the mother now, or the father or the parents of this child that's been so abused, take up a civil action when we have other?
Well, that's the only remedy they have left, that they can address the matter. And if they don't want to do that, then I don't see why they should be complaining to people on the radio, because if you have exhausted all other alternatives, then and you have the alternative left for you that you can do it yourself, then that's what you should be doing.
But as I've said, they don't want to until the
Well, if they don't want to, what do you expect us to do?
Not now. They will do it, but they can't do it now. They don't want their child to be victimized up to graduation. And that happens up here. If you speak up here against anybody in any government department or government building institution, your child, if it's a school environment, your child gets victimized up here. And that is very sad. So, I'm only raising the awareness of what's taking place. And I'm not here to say that the parents don't want to go and take a civil action. My point is, if we have all of these things in place as well, a disciplinary board or whatever for the school, why aren't they not dealing with this? And we already know why, because this particular bully is very athletically inclined
and we hear what you're saying with that, but that should not be an excuse for inaction.
Yeah, exactly.
That should not be an excuse on the part of the school nor on the part of the
parent.
parent whose child is being bullied.
And it's abusive process in a public office is what it is. By the principal, the police,
Your problem seems to be similar to what Ms. Andis talks about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But caller, before you go, I just want to say to you that there's in November of 2020, the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports, Culture, and Lands, which was at that time it was called, they issued a policy, National Anti-Bullying Policy for School Students. It was approved, and it says here, bullying means any repeated conduct by a student where that conduct is intended by that student to have the effect of, or that student ought to know that the conduct would likely have the effect of causing physical, emotional, psychological, or social harm to another student, placing another student in reasonable fear of physical, emotional, psychological, or social harm, placing another student in reasonable fear of damage to that student's property, creating an intimidating, threatening, hostile, or abusive educational environment for another student, disrupting the academic progress of another student, damaging the reputation of another student, infringing on the rights of another student to participate in school activities. And then it talks about the education law and the regulations and what they cover, as well. So it is all there, but we cannot and we should not use the excuse that because that person has influence in the school that such action should be taken. We have a complaints commissioner. You can the multi what is called the MASH, multi agency. I forget what it's called. There are resources out there. You need to contact someone. This needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I would not leave my children traumatized. Because of someone's athletic ability and stuff, no way. I would be in court immediately to protect my children's rights.
Exactly. Caller, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you.
Folks, we've gone way beyond. Sorry about that, Paul. We'll take a commercial break now. I guess by the time we finish with the commercial break, we'll be for headline news as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No one can stop me when I taste the feel.
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
JN Money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use your money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we a pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we a pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamt Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamt Motors, Walkers Road.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
You could be the lucky winner in July as part of Kirk Freeport's 50th anniversary sweepstakes. Each month for the whole year, lucky shoppers have a chance to win a jewelry piece or watch from luxury brands. The prize for July is the innovative Tag Heuer Carrera watch that takes you from daytime to a night out with seamless style. Visit any Kirk Freeport store location to enter. Every purchase of $100 gains you entry into the monthly drawing. View terms and conditions on KirkFreeport.com.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the Record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Dr. McField is in the studio with me. Paul, we have one caller still. We have one caller. We're going to take that caller, but very quickly. Doc, we have some very sharp, astute listeners out there. Yes. Someone has shared with me already and say Miss Annie Borden, Anna Hulda Borden was talking about the All building.
The All building?
Yes.
Down in...
it would have been right next to Mr. Berkeley Bush's duplex.
Yes.
Right on the corner of Fort Street and what would then have been North Church Street.
Yes. But it's now Seaman's
Seafarers Way. Yes, yeah. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Caller, okay, the caller... we lost that caller. We welcome that caller to call back after we return from our headline news. So, Doc, back over to you.
Yes. Another position. Another position here is Mr. Jim Borden's actions in 1979. Mr. Jim Borden, you know, was a very controversial person.
Mm-hmm.
For he was addressing a public meeting in relation to marl that he had dumped at the CUC's manager's house.
Yeah, I shared that one.
You shared that one already?
Yes, I shared that one.
Yes. So
can we do the one on gratuities if that one isn't too long?
Yeah, I'll try to find that one now. Or maybe when we come back. Yeah, the gratuities one.
So meanwhile, one of our listeners has written in to talk about the language situation, and that person says that, you know, we still have that our constitution says that the official language of the Cayman Islands is English, which is correct, but that there are still persons who you find that don't speak English properly, and that is quite possible. And they also speak about the fact that the English, that there is supposed to be a language test in place, and there is a language test in place, and that is strictly adhered to by work and by the various boards. Now, we know that there was a huge scandal in the immigration department years ago. We had persons who served time in prison, were convicted and served time as a result of that. That English language test has now been changed, and they are actually conducted by certain sanctioned online institutions for the English language test to be given. And it is graded in the written, verbal, and comprehension as well. They give scores, and the department and the boards have a minimum score that a person must obtain in order for them to be approved to be able to work in the Cayman Islands. Now, we also want to bear in mind that we do have persons who have Caymanian connections who may come to the Cayman Islands and work here, as well. They may not be subject to work permit requirements, and they may come from places
and maybe speaking a different language other than English.
Yes, exactly.
As well.
So that is quite possible, So I just wanted to alert that listener to that point as Well, so the all building, and it is still there.
It is still there.
It is still there. The parking lot now is where Mr. Berkeley Bush's duplex was. That was the first duplex to be built in the Cayman Islands when Mr. Berkeley Bush built that. And remember now, the Princess Royal Park, you could actually walk from the Princess Royal Park through the back of Mr. Berkeley Bush's house there.
Yes, you could walk through the back there, and I think that right of way has been closed now. That right of way has been closed.
That's fenced off.
Has been fenced off, but has been closed now. And so the all building then was built without any parking, because the Berkeley Bush house would have been right next to the all building.
I think they may have had some underground parking at that point.
Yeah,
in time.
just a
small underground,
just a little small underground parking lot.
Yes,
for a few cars. As you get under the building, you go right in the back of Jack and Jill's building there. There was a little parking space there.
Okay, I think I have about 30 seconds before we go. Paul, you ready for me now for the headline news? Oh, okay, let's go to headline news. What I wanted to say was yesterday, I was out in my yard and I heard crickets.
Yes.
Remember crickets?
Oh, yes.
We used to climb the trees and catch them, and you hear them singing and stuff like that. How many persons out there know about crickets in the Cayman Islands, and how many of you can still hear crickets? I'm living in an area where we can still hear crickets. I'm not sure if the people in Georgetown can, because everything is built up in Georgetown now. They're concrete, not trees, and the crickets don't like the concrete.
Yes.
They certainly love the trees. Top of the hour, headline news, folks. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after headline news.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Public Health reported 91 new cases of COVID-19 registered for Sunday and Monday. That brought the estimated number of cases of COVID in Cayman to 894. The 7-day rolling average for Tuesday was 56. Sri Lankan MPs have elected the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe as the country's new president, despite his unpopularity with the public. He faces the task of leading the country out of its economic collapse and restoring order after months of mass protests. He roundly defeated his main rival for the job with 134 votes to 82 in a parliamentary vote. Sri Lanka's ex-president fled the country last week. And fires continue to run wild in countries across Europe where a heat wave has intensified drought conditions. Though temperatures have cooled in France and the UK, firefighters are still tackling blazes in Greece, Spain, and Italy. The fires in France's badly hit southwest have started to be brought under control. And as the heat wave heads northeast, low water levels are hampering transport on rivers in Germany. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Has that caller rejoined us, Paul? Or maybe they were just calling to tell us about the building as well, that it was the all building, and once the answer was given, they chose not to have to repeat it again. So, Doc, there's several articles in there. Yeah. We're going to talk about the one about gratuities, but there's also one in there about the Bankers Association and how they had established a program to train Caymanians. Those days, institutions, financial and otherwise, were interested. They had a vested interest in training Caymanians because there wasn't that big influx and that desire for people to come and work in the Cayman Islands.
And then they had the Cayman Protection Law.
Yes, yeah.
That really monitored the amount of people came here to work and where they could work and everything.
Okay, we got a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, my dear?
I'm well. I'm talking about people who came here and how much interest they had in training us. We don't know that because we had a more balanced country back then. We had real men sitting in the saddle back then. Corruption was always among us, but it was not about corruption because you would get somebody would throw ham on your big toe if you upset them.
Yep.
So I think it was a lot of having that the conscience to have some sort of balance or the common sense. I don't know which of the C's you would want. But what I was calling about you and your crickets, do you have dapper caps in your yard?
Yeah. I get dapper caps. Sometimes I see them.
Which ones?
Well, there are two types. You know, there's one that it's sort of like red and pink, and it has the hole.
Yes.
It has the holes
in it. Yes.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Throw the shade on me. Throw the shade on me. Shade. Do you have those cocky worm relatives in your yard? I think they come out of the bag. Stuff, but it's like the Honduran iguana and the Cayman iguana. They may be genetically kind of, but they're not real cocker worms. But I don't know where you going, Mate Joseph. But if you know cricket, Georgetown, you got Georgetown.
It would surprise you how many Caymanians do know about a
cricket. Yes,
cricket.
We don't.
You still hear? Do you still hear them in Georgetown? You still hear them down here? Because I'm sure the noise and the airplanes flying over and the pollution and everything else.
Yeah, but now and again, around this time, with water coming, you'll hear a couple.
Okay.
But as soon as they clear that piece to the southeast out there, I guess it'll be done.
Mm-hmm.
Big dows.
Oh, yeah.
Doves.
Big doves, yeah.
You can hear, that's not all the time, but every now and again you hear doves. And I got my pot of parrots, a flock of parrots. It comes down every now and again, and they only have one flight path, and it's never over my place. But I can hear them coming again to the southwest, so I can get up and look and see if I can see any of them.
The parrots, I was talking to someone in East End, well-known former public figure, and they were saying up in the land they counted something like over 100 young parrots a few weeks ago. Over 100 young parrots. Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. To be honest, I know.
Well, the farmers would disagree with you on that.
Yeah, I disagree with you too because I have something like 6 orchid trees in my yard. And they have a feast there. I have to.
I trees and they don't trouble my orchids.
Yes, I have to put a dummy, duppy up in my yard.
Well, maybe that's why they don't come out. They don't come at mine because they come to yours because I don't have them either.
Yes.
Yes, caller.
For all things reminiscent, yeah, it just warms my heart when I hear them come screaming up. And like I said, I know some people don't like them, but oh my gosh. Anyway, I just wanted you to know about my dapper caps, and you're just showing so much shade this morning that I just wanted to stop you in your tracks.
So have you? Do you have it in like crickets at your place?
No, I don't think in the yard. But I can hear them. There's a little pot of bush up just on the other side of the business place, maybe. And you can still hear them now and again, but it's not it's not a regular thing. It's kind of like in their time when the weather is right, whether it's windy or wetty, and I think it's more wetty that you can hear them, but not much. But you can hear them.
Okay.
And my dapper cap. With them a couple of weeks ago, I was so elated.
Thank you very much for that.
Have a nice day, gentlemen.
Okay, you do the same as well. So, Doc, I think somebody might have been reading your mind. This person says, yes, crickets are fun, but what happened to the blinkies? Now, that's the same thing that you were talking about with the fireflies as well, right?
Yes, the fireflies.
And they're saying, and about the black student being abused, The Complaints Commissioner handles such cases if school and police authorities don't. Also, the point the caller repeated that the child is bullied and victimized by the school also seems to have been missed. This is the root of the bullying by other children, as it's systematic and based on who you are. But I honestly don't believe that they really need to go to the Complaints Commissioner in relation to this, because the anti-bullying policy that has been laid out by the government has certain guidelines. Let me quickly share this portion with you. It talks about what the aims, gives a policy statement, says also about the school anti-bullying policies, the roles and responsibilities. It says the Ministry of Education will provide national policy, expectations and supporting guidance documents, provide framework as the basis for individual schools' anti-bullying policies, provide expert advice to the Department of Education Services and governing bodies to support the implementation of the policy. Says that the Department of Education Services or governing bodies will establish procedures to ensure that anti-bullying policies are formalized in accordance with the national policy on anti-bullying, establish oversight mechanisms to ensure that anti-bullying policies are implemented and observed, establish systems to receive and deal with reports from schools on incidents of bullying, provide training opportunities for school leaders, school staff, students, and parents to develop their knowledge and skills in recognizing, preventing, and responding to bullying. Here's what the school leaders will do. School leaders will implement individual school-based anti-bullying policies. So my question would be, has that been done for this particular school in the BRAC? School leaders will also provide for the education of parents about bullying and anti-bullying policies of the school and how parents can provide support and reinforce such anti-bullying policies at home. School leaders will provide for the education of students on bullying, the anti-bullying policies of the school, and the systems for the anonymous reporting of acts of bullying. So there should be a system in place also for anonymous reporting of acts of bullying. So therefore, there should not be any fear of, and I say should not be, and I'll say, any fear of victimization. So there are other things that has to be done. So again, please look at the anti-bullying policy. I'll try to determine whether or not, how far this has gone, whether or not it is fully implemented at this point in time as well. Paul, do we have any callers on hold? Okay, I'm going to take the commercial break so that I can have Dr. Steve McField fully devote the time needed for this article in relation to
the bankers to improve staff and training.
Oh, you want to do that one first instead of the gratuitous? Yes. So talk about training of staff in the Cayman Islands in 1979. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No one can stop me when I taste the feel.
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
JN Money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money, JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use a money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we a pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we a pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
The Cayman Islands Health Services Authority's general practice and public health clinics have relocated to Smith Road Medical Center. At the new location, you'll receive top quality care in a comfortable, modern space, enhancing your patient experience. Do you have flu-like symptoms or other non-emergent illnesses or injury? HSA's new urgent care walk-in clinic is now open at the main hospital campus. The new general practice location is for appointments only. For more information, call 949-8600 or visit hsa.ky.
Unleash the leadership potential of employees and managers through the globally acclaimed Ken Blanchard Series, now offered at the Chamber of Commerce Training Center. Designed for new and experienced managers, the Ken Blanchard Series will give new leaders the fundamentals of management, and experienced leaders will learn new best techniques to lead and support staff. Make the Chamber Training Center a partner in your business success. Call the Chamber today at 949-8090 or visit caymanchamber.ky for further information.
For the record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. We're going to share with you an article from the Northwestern newspaper published by the late Desmond Seals. It was available on all Cayman Airways flights at that time, and then of course our national hero, Honorable James Manoa Borden, had it removed because they felt that it was costing too much, $500 a month to pay to have it there. But as was suspected and was exposed, that there were ulterior motives for doing that as well. And again, I want to give credit to Miss Sharon Brown. She has shared her collection of Tradewinds newspapers, Northwestern newspapers with me. And what we're going to try to do each month, we're going to look at the magazine for that particular month and share the articles with you. While it was a magazine, it almost served as a newspaper as well, because some of the things that they report on, certainly in quite detail, like for instance, things that happen in our legislative assembly.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, Doc.
This article, in my estimation, I can be wrong, and if anyone wants to call in to say what their opinion is, but I believe that this article was prompted by the fact that the Cayman Protection Law at the time regulated who could come in the island and what people could do, and the whole objective was to protect the Caymanians people's interests, and as a result, the bankers organized to improve staff training. That's the heading of the article. It says the professionals of one of Cayman's biggest industries, banking, have formed their own association with aim including to coordination of training and local staff and a discussion of mutual problems. The Cayman Islands Bankers Association came into being on May the 22nd, July 1979, when representatives of the majority of the banks and trust companies on Grand Cayman met under the chairmanship of the government's inspector of banks and trust companies, Robin Benbow. The meeting took place on the initiative of Mr. Benbow, who in a letter on training facilities had sought comment on the possibility of a bankers association. He suggested it could be a forum for lectures and discussions on topics of interest to all concerned, as well as providing committees to give advice and organize the training of staff locally. A study of such training has shown the large variety of qualifications for which local bank personnel are studying. The London's Scottish, Canadian, and American Institute of Banking, as well as Chartered Institute of Secretaries and Administrators and various accountancy bodies. One change recently in necessitated is the substitution of the London Chamber of Commerce examination in English, Accounting, Economics, and Law for Part 1 of the London Institute of Bankers qualifications. This has been caused because the Institute has replaced its Part 1 exam by the ordinary National Certificate of British qualifications not available here. Course for the LC of C examination have been introduced at the community college. As another aspect of staff training, association members are to support courses for senior secretaries to be held at the government administration building training room, as well as short practical courses for telephonists to be conducted by Roy West visiting training officer. A second function of the new association is more involved with the senior members of the industry. Quarterly meetings are to be held featuring visiting lecturers on subjects related to finance with the aim of keeping members abreast of developments and to expand their professional horizons. And then went on to say, president of the association is Royan D. Ellis, manager of the Bank of Nova Scotia Trust Company. Harry Chisholm, Royal Bank of Canada, Secretary. John Wooten, Barclays Finance Corporation. Treasurer Don Green, Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. Executive Committee members Leonard Ebanks, First Cayman Bank Limited, and AJR Howard. Roy West, Stephen Schofield, Barclays International, and John Ray, Bank America Trust and Banking Associations. It went on to say the association is not expected to have any clash of interests or functions with FinCo, the organization founded some years ago to act as a meeting place for exchange of views with government, representing the whole financial community. It also includes lawyers and accountants as in its representation. While it is felt by some that the association could relieve FinCo of some of its specialized concerns, the main thrust of the new body efforts will be to avoid duplication of efforts in the matter of qualifications and to ensure that any Caymanian taking professional examinations will wind up with credentials valid in any part of the world, said Mr. Wotton. We are going to have quite a bit of work to do, I think. And then on the page before that, there's a really beautiful picture, and I think that the families probably should get hold of the July.
Do they give the names there, or just show the photographs?
It's a photograph with names on it, and it's a beautiful picture that.
Well, let's call out some of the names of the Caymanians.
Families should have in their homes.
Yes.
It says along with the managing director, Tony Howard, and this is about Roy West Trust's move to stay in the lead. And these were the people at Roy West Trust in that. These some of the people at Roy West Trust. And it says along with the managing director Tony Howard Center are some of the key Caymanian. Hear what it says? Some of the key Caymanians, not key employees. Some different places. Some of the key Caymanians, not key employees.
Yes.
Some of the key Caymanian employees at Roy West Trust from left. Mistress Spurgeon Bothwell. Mrs. Spurgeon Bothwell. Angelita Myrie. Ben Giloli. Giloli.
Yeah.
Charmaine Bush. Ina Orr, Rennie Hislop, Sylvia Perry, and Raymond Whitaker. those were some of the people there. That's. I wonder if any of those have seen this picture or have this picture in their collection. but they should have it. It's a beautiful picture of them around the boardroom table. And I like what the caption says. Key Caymanian employees. Key Caymanian employees. That is so different now. How they twist that around now, and they have key employees from abroad.
How many of the financial institutions in the Cayman Islands can now boast of that?
Yes.
And when we say Caymanian now, we're talking about
generational Caymanians. Then
we're talking about first people, the first people in Cayman, first, not status holders. We're talking about,
and it's very interesting to see how those beautiful people are. I know Rena Hislop. I know some of the other people, and it's beautiful.
Raymond Whitaker still in the financial industry.
Yes, Raymond Whitaker is still in the financial industry, and he should have this picture. He should get a copy of this picture made and hang it really heavy in their offices or in their living rooms.
Those were the days, folks. Those were the days. So one of our listeners said they were just passing through Lower Valley and could hear the cicada cricket. It's a long time since hearing them, and it's in the Lower Valley area that I heard them as well. So, Miss Georgetown resident, we're still challenging you. Tell us whether or not, how often you hear them down here in Georgetown, and whether or not the concrete structures, the concrete jungle has displaced. Between the concrete jungle and the asphalt roads have actually run them out of Georgetown, as well. And the chickens will eat. As a matter of fact, somebody sent something about it. Say that they had chickens and something else there. I'll try to find that particular one as well. Doc, let's look at the gratuity. Oh, we have a caller? Let's grab the caller, and then later on we're going to talk about the article on gratuities as well. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah. I'm calling you now, I was silent enough for it no more. But then, I'm trying to shade this morning. Oh my goodness. What you had for breakfast?
Nothing, that's why.
I know. No, I know your company would have something to do if you had required it. So tell them bring you something. That's all you do. Jeez. I don't know how often, not really, but very often. No, not very often. But I hear them now and again. Okay. And like I said, they're not really, I don't recall if they're really in my yard. I think they're more over that little patch of bush over by me, like I say in the southeast now. By me, but there's a lot of things over there. And when I keep planning, I go in one morning with a pickaxe on my chest and arrest me. But there's I see a couple of things over there the botanist might like, and I hope and pray that the development and how we get developed and blah blah blah. I'm every weekend I just go and look at the spot again, because by the next week it might be gone. So I say the old building gone now?
No, it's still there, but
yes.
Yeah, it's still there. It's still there, but that was
on the block.
It is?
I'm asking.
No. We were talking about the article that Miss Annie was talking about planning and how planning could give permission for a building to be built so close right on the edge of the road, and we were trying to figure out which building that would have been at that point in time, and Dr. McField said, I thought maybe CIBC opposite the court, but that may have been built before then. And then one of our very astute and knowledgeable listeners sent us a message and said that it was the All building that Miss Anna was referring to.
Well, she wasn't quiet. She talked about the clothes or lack of clothes. She talked about the page in the Bible where he didn't read on Sunday. Oh, I loved her. That's what I was old enough to appreciate her.
A little bit too conservative in certain respects for me, though. But she came from the old school.
That's all I'm saying. You do what you know. But I mean, she wasn't holding it down.
Oh, she wasn't shy. She wasn't shy at
That's
all.
all I wanted to say.
Okay.
Dr.
Sorry.
McField, I keep asking you for things, and I know that your day only got 24 hours, or I believe your day only got 24 hours. But seeing as we're talking about Miss Anna, you can't. There's nothing about Miss Anna in these newspapers that we can highlight her, because in my mind, Miss Anna went against the green in her own demographic, and families, friends, blah 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 blah. When she used to call for, because in my mind it was the first time I heard about anybody calling for the lowering of import duties or the ditching of import duty for staples for poor people, and Shedden Road was a spot of kerosene oil, what was it, flour, cornmeal, and a couple other items that I might not remember.
Between Mr. Shirley's, Marin Brand Store, Miss Merle's store, Junior's store. Don't forget also that Mr. Clarence Flowers and them had a grocery store too, right there, and the almond tree with the almond tree in front of it, yeah.
I don't remember it much, but I remember you went in through the door on the west side.
And then you had Mr. Champy.
Uncle Champy,
yes.
Right there with a haberdasher. He had everything happening there.
Yeah.
But Miss Annie is not only remembered for her stint in the Legislative Assembly and her astuteness there and her outspokenness, but she was also one of the first
law agents
and company secretaries. She was the company secretary for the Cayman Islands Motorboat Company, which owned the Simboko.
Yeah. Well, I haven't looked through all of these Northwestern newspapers yet, but the mere fact that in July of 1979 she supported Desmond Seals, I have no doubt that Desmond Seals probably did a whole article and a front cover on Miss Annie. So I won't be surprised if when flipping through them, I'll find more about her.
That's a quid pro quo. She was a woman, a Caribbean woman, and a Caymanian at that.
Yes.
Okay, gentlemen, I can really leave it alone if
Thank
that
you.
one stop throwing shade.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break, but before we do so, Doc, someone has sent me a photograph here of a bowl of sea grapes, and they said, "Morning, Doctor." They said, "Dr. Stephen O.C., do you eat sea grapes?"
Yes, I do.
And they say that they're in my backyard by the galore.
Where?
I'll soon find that out. And they had a question for Susan also. Susan, do you eat them too? But of course, Susan isn't back with us yet. She's still off on leave, so she isn't back yet. But we'll find out from her as well. And then the person said that they don't hear crickets anymore, but they hear roosters and the white-tipped birds, which would be now I don't know if she's talking about I shouldn't say she, I'm not sure whether or not the person is talking about nightingales, or if they're talking about the white-tipped pigeon,
Pigeons.
The white bird, we call the big dove,
big
doves, as well. So let's take the commercial break. When we return, we're going to talk about the article on gratuities. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
For the Health of It is heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. It is brought to you by Holy Cross Health. Quality medical care and advanced technology with sincere compassion and understanding. Our mission is you. Call 1-954-351-5906. Email global services at holy-cross.com or visit Holy Cross Health at holy-cross.com.
As the community continues to take precautions from COVID-19, it is important to stay prepared for other disasters now that we're in the hurricane season. Here are some post-hurricane safety tips from the Department of Environmental Health. Some tinned food items may still be safe for consumption after contact with flood water. However, tins must then be immersed in a solution made of 2 tablespoons of chlorine bleach per gallon of water for 10 minutes. Ensure that containers are air-dried before opening. For full guidance on post-hurricane safety tips, visit www.deh.gov.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have one caller in hold, and I'm going to take that caller in a minute. Just want to share the WhatsApp messages that we received as well. This one says, good morning. Yes, I live in the Brack, and I'm very fortunate where I'm living. I can hear the wonderful sound of those crickets. This other one says, morning, I just got a little of what you were discussing about Roy West. Person says, I worked at Roy West/Coots for 32 years, and I'm a generational Caymanian. They were a good company and employed a lot of Caymanians. I want to thank that person for that as well. And this person has written and said, I'm not sure if you got the email about the blinkies. I believe personally that they were small swampland bugs because they like tall grass and moist areas, and the lack and development of swampland turned them away from the island. And if there are any left, they are far away from the traffic or construction, which is everywhere. Person also says, I've noticed after there was a big land fill, there was a big land full of tall grass, and there was a pond. Now it's cleared because of development going on, all marl, and no more blinky. Mm-hmm. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Austin. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. Good morning.
Talking about the crickets, Borden Town still has a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially around the time that the Poncianas are in bloom.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that has for them, but they enjoy those trees. And
it'll be interesting to know whether or not they're migratory or
yes.
or what.
Yeah, it would be interesting to find that out.
Uh-huh.
Also about the dopper caps, I didn't know anybody still knew about that. You know what? Also that we used to have a lot of, and you barely see them anymore. There are a couple of things. The oozers. Those got big green looking. They're almost like bees, but they're big. And they used to dig in the sand.
Oh yes, yeah.
Those you hardly ever see them anymore. Also, they used to have around like swampy areas. They had the little small crabs with a big claw. They used to call them the fiddlers.
Mm-hmm.
The fiddler crab.
Yes.
You don't see them anymore either.
Yes. So caller, we had one of our listeners to send us an invitation for grapes in their backyard. When I was young, and we used to go to gather almonds and pound them for our parents to mostly to put into the fruit cakes and stuff and things like that. Yes. We also used to gather the grapes, and my grandmother used to make a drink out of them,
jelly.
And grape jelly. So I don't know if anybody has that recipe anymore. So if you,
I think there's some people still do it. Use the grape wine.
The grape wine and the grape recipe. I would like to have it because I would like to do that in my spare time.
And remember how in my days when we attended sound going in and out, Paul, sound is going in and out. Went attending Dobson Hall.
Yes.
And there was grape trees behind it, and the grapes were huge.
Huge, yes.
And you take the leaf and you round it out into a cup.
Yes.
And you fill it. That's how we used to harvest our grapes.
Also, we used to have the guavas, the good Cayman guavas, and get cut guavas out of them and guava jelly and stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
But that
the show, see on that, man.
Thank you very much, caller, for that. One about this person, the question that we had in relation to the crickets, this person says that they were reliably told that crickets usually come out during the heat of the summer. So starting now, with a peak in August, they are most seasonal. Agree, they are probably not much in town as well. Let's grab the caller because we've had them holding for quite a while. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, morning, Ossie.
Hey, morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, man. I will listen to you guys. I stand to be corrected, but the crickets lay the egg on the ground, and they only come out like every 7 years. You will see them come out, and I mean in real massive swarms, right? So, but they definitely come. The eggs are buried in the ground because I've been digging to plant cassava and, all kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And the other people show me, say, Elvis, you know what it is? I said, no, that's a cricket.
Wow.
And when he come out the ground, he's fully grown. And they mate, and they only live for 72 hours, something like that. But I know they be down in the ground. I think it's the minimum of 7 years. From time they lay the egg until the next one come up. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, I'm cool.
Okay. This person, add to this, one of our listeners has written in and said the crickets are dormant throughout the year and come out in season. Some have been for years taking turns to transform, and they are the same grub-like bugs that kill the grass on some people's lawns. So this is what one of our listeners has shared with us as well, and we want to thank them for that also. Okay, Doc, let's... any callers on hold, Paul? None? Let's go to our gratuities.
Yeah, this is an article that appeared in the July edition of the Northwestern 1979. And the heading of the article is Hotel Association Act to Compel Gratuity Share Out. And it begins, the Cayman Islands Hotel Association have acted to clear up the doubts and dissatisfaction over the matter of staff gratuities. The association board of directors have ruled that from May the 30th, all gratuities for food, bar and room services at member institutions must be distributed to staff, not including managers, assistant managers, and controllers. A board of inquiry is to be appointed by the CHA to deal with any complaints, and all members will be required to cooperate with the board in that investigation. Also effective next April 30th, the association intends to standardize gratuity charges according to the types of business, hotel accommodations, or restaurants. There have been wide variations in the levels of service charges added to guest bills, ranging from 5% to 15%. To make these rulings attractive, the CIHA will incorporate them into their articles of association so that any member found in breach of them will be liable to expulsion. The Association Legal Counsel has reported that payments of gratuities by guests cannot be compelled by legislation, since a gratuity is by its nature voluntarily taken to appreciate for services rendered. Hopefully, the service is also good enough to avoid a situation in which a guest is indignant enough to refuse to pay it. Since the payment is not compulsory, legal counsel also pointed out employees shall be paid a basic wage sufficient so that they do not have to rely on gratuities as a means of subsistence. To keep the record straight, it would be better that gratuities be paid separately from salary, but the manner of distributions of gratuities, whether once a year or twice a year, must be to individual managements. Also planned to the CIHA to, as part of their this writing here is very faded.
Okay.
Yeah. So, consideration of policies of staff payments is a manpower survey, as well as a survey of basic wages being paid in industry. In this way, it is hoping to clear up the dissatisfaction which have given rise to disputes in the industry, sometimes from time to time. The recent bout of wrangling over the subject was sparked in February when the Caymanian Protection Board Chairman Ormond Panton issued a statement that it was obvious that Caymanians employees in various institutions were afraid to report legitimate complaints to the proper authorities. He invited such Caymanians to let him have their complaints. This brought a letter of complaint about a gratuity from 9 employees of a well-known restaurant, which was headlines in the press and promptly and ably rebutted by the restaurant manager. The Cayman Islands News Bureau, putting aside its allotted role of overseas publicity for the tourist industry, next got into the act, issuing a statement on behalf of an unidentified spokesman for the portfolio of tourism, aviation and trade, claiming that a number of complaints had been received from staff in the hospitality industry, particularly on the matter of gratuities. The spokesman warned management they would face criminal proceedings on a number of grounds in relation to gratuity distribution. What such criminal proceedings might be was never made clear, but controversy continues around the topic, with editorial comments and letters to the press, and to some it appears that the Protection Board was taking upon itself the functions of the Labour Office. On April the 10th, CIHA President Rudy Seltzer issued a statement that the association had always investigated any problems and complaints which came to its attention. He regretted that government had chosen to communicate with the association via the newspaper columns rather than directly. Up to that time, Mr. Seltzer said only one staff complaint had been received, and this was being dealt with by the Protection Board and Labour Office.
Okay.
So it seems to, in those days, the gratuity system came under the Protection Board and came under the Labour Office. I don't think that is.
Well, I think that what you're saying there, Mr. Horman, because of the complaints that were made to him,
yes.
he took it upon himself to address it as well. Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break. When we return, I have an email that I'm going to share with you, and then I want to share a press release that was issued on the 12th of July, and it has to do with the hardest celebrations for Parliament Building's 50th anniversary, which will take place tomorrow. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
JN Money, money touchdown. Send the money now, reach wow. You say you need some money, JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use your money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
Hello, Cayman. Please join me, contestant number 4, Carmody Banks, and our 7 lovely contestants at this year's Miss Cayman Islands Universe pageant on Saturday, the 6th of August at the Westin on 7 Mile Beach. Doors open at 6 o'clock p.m. Show starts at 7. Tickets available at Funky Tanks. Huge thanks to our corporate sponsors, Ministry of Tourism, Radio Cayman, Compass Media, and Cayman Airways.
Miss Cayman Islands Universe tickets are also available at Funky Monkey.
In recognition of the 50th anniversary of the Cayman Islands Parliament Building, the community is invited to a special celebration on Thursday, the 21st of July, from 6 to 8 p.m. The 2-hour program will include speeches, live performances, and Cayman-inspired cuisine, including kunk stew and refreshments. Join your family, friends, neighbors, and countrymen and women in celebration of this historic tribute to the iconic building that gave the Cayman Islands its first permanent home for the legislator. The 50th anniversary of the Cayman Islands Parliament Building, Thursday, July 21st, from 6 to 8 p.m., 33 Fort Street in Georgetown.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. We're wrapping up the show. We have about 10 minutes left. So one of our listeners has written in and said, I agree. Good morning, OC and Dr. McField. I agree with Miss Annie that Caymanians need to speak up and speak out on matters of national interest. We will also need to form strong community groups to promote the views garnered from the people of these islands. It is sad that the matter of district councils has been left to languish for so long. Thanks for reminding us of the old days of Roy West. I may have the 1979 Northwester, but would you kindly tell us the month again? So the month is July of 1979, right, Doc?
July 1979.
Right. And the person says there were many Caymanians, including Carol Ann Ebanks and Annie Rose Washburn, who got their start there as well. Says the group, as well as others who came after, used to meet occasionally. I also believe that old CIBC group of Lynn Whitaker and Francia Lloyd McLaughlin are still keep in touch as well. Thanks for directing the caller about bullying to the right channels. They are there, so let's use them. So I want to thank that writer for that as well. So, folks, you would have heard the last commercial before we returned, or one of the last commercials before we returned, just now talking about the celebration. So, I'll share this with you. The Cayman Islands Parliament Building will be celebrating its 50th anniversary tomorrow, Thursday, An exciting program of entertainment will help mark the 50th birthday from 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, the 21st of July, 2022. The then Legislative Building was officially opened on the 31st of July, 1972. Open to the public on Parliament steps and in 4th Street, the 21st of July celebration features an abundance of music, song, and dance. Speaker the Honorable McKeeva Bush outlined that the full 2-hour program will have performances and a dozen acts, as well as a live painting of the event created by a local artist and fireworks to round off the event. Additionally, there will also be food and beverages available for participants of the festivities, with local caterers providing food including conch stew, as well as fruit juices and sodas. A cash bar accepting card payment only will also be available to guests wanting to buy alcoholic beverages. The speaker also recalled the colorful history associated with the iconic building, which is now a fixture at the heart of central Georgetown. It's quoted as saying, "There is a celebration of a precious segment of the evolving history of our beloved islands, which evokes many fond memories for a large number of people." That's a quote by Speaker Bush. Prior to the outdoor celebration, members of Parliament and invited guests will attend a special lecture in the chambers of the House. The presentation by eminent constitutional attorney Dr. the Honorable Lloyd Barnett will focus on, quote, separation of powers, close of quote, of the legislature, executive, and judiciary. Both the celebrations and the lecture will be broadcast live on the Cayman Islands government YouTube and Facebook channels and on CIG TV channels as well. As a sidebar, a brief history of the building. I gave that to you before, but this has more to it. Cayman Islands Parliament Building was officially opened on the 31st of July, 1972 by then Governor Kenneth Roy Crook. Dame Hilda Bino of Grenada was the distinguished guest at the event and gifted the new Parliament building with a painting on behalf of her island. An international competition was held in 1970 to choose the architects to design both the Legislative Assembly building and the courthouse. The winner was architectural firm Rutowski, Bradford, and Partners of Jamaica, who designed both buildings. The firm became Rutowski, Baxter, and Houghton on their relocation to Cayman. The buildings were constructed by McAlpine Cayman Limited and Arch Construction. The Legislative Assembly was the first poured concrete building in the Cayman Islands, and it was also McAlpine's first project in the Cayman Islands. The chosen site of the building was what was once Princess Royal Park, so named for the first British royal to visit Cayman, Mary Princess Royal, who planted a tree in the park. 2 years later, His Royal Highness Prince Philip also visited the park. The building underwent renovations in 2003, adding a members' dining room as well as refitting the carpeting and furniture in the chambers. On the 4th of December 2020, the Legislative Assembly became an autonomous parliament, and the building was named the House of Parliament. So I'm happy that I was able to share that with you as well. Doc, over to you. Comments and closing remarks.
Well, some of our listeners spoke to me a couple of days ago about their lack of success although they're working very hard, they lack of success for themselves and their children. And so I would just like to leave them with this quote. How can you expect to have any economic success if you are not paid a livable wage? We talk about hard work brings success, but how is that possible when Caymanians' hard work is paid almost nothing? How is one expected to be successful when one cannot pay high utility bills, 2, cannot pay the high price for food, 3, when a good education is beyond their average means, and when the people, when the population is increasing, bringing more economic woes. Okay, that's my comment for the weekend.
Thank you. And I have a little bit more I'm going to add here. One of our listeners has written in and said that Sonny Clark, that would be Aunt Betty's. We know her as Aunt Betty's Sonny Clark, was the foreman on the All building and a stern supporter of Miss Annie Borden, and said McAlpine were also the contractor. Says, talking about the Legislative Assembly building, I have the person says that they have the first seating from the gallery in the waiting area at the auto spa. So they have the first seating that they had in the gallery.
You have to take that out.
Person say that they have it at the auto spa. Had I should say, because sold out, and person said that they got those seats in 2003. That's really a treasure.
Yes,
I wonder who has it now. I know I have some of the chairs. They may not have been the original chairs from the Holiday Inn, but they were some of the last chairs with the made out of something like bamboo and the cloth seating and stuff like that from the old Holiday Inn. Those I have as well. So, Doc, I want to thank you for being here this morning, and look forward to having you here some days next week as well. Like I said, Friday we have persons from the Cayman Islands Fire Service coming in to talk about their recruitment drive. So thank you very much, Doc. Folks out there, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens.